Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets Crypto, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Monday, the 24th of March. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Okay, on Bitcoin, we have this IHS which broke up with a target in the 92,000 area, but we've also got this really nice looking rising wedge bear flag. And I'm thinking we're probably heading towards the flag resistance, and that flag resistance is now currently at about the 89,000 and change area. I'm really liking this, actually. This is a nice pattern. Sorry, it doesn't look quite as nice as it actually is because one of my trend lines has drifted slightly, but right, that is we had a very nice resistance trend line, and now we've got a very nice support trend line. And this, I've got a couple of options here, but I've got one of these up in, no, actually this is about the 89,500 area at the moment, we're obviously rising fairly rapidly. And I've got a further one, which is this one here, which is an option which we are reaching, but I'm thinking it's probably going to go to the higher one. Hang on a second. This one's the nicest flag resistance. It's 3 touches on the top. We've got 3 touches on the bottom. This is a very nice bear flag wedge now. And I'm thinking this high is not a great deal higher. Now, it could be that we're going to go beyond it and head up into the 92,000 target. But I think there's fairly good reasons to think that we're not going to make that. I would say a reason to make it, though, is that if we are forming an overall bull flag on Bitcoin, which we could be, then the obvious next target would be this trend line here, which is actually in the 92,000 area. We could still do that, but I've got to say this is a disturbingly nice bear flag, and it may well, flag resistance may well hold it. We'll have to see how it goes. All right, looking at Solana. Solana, on the daily chart, wow. Well, we're over the daily middle band, which is something I wasn't absolutely certain was going to happen. We were holding resistance there really nicely. Let's have a look at that on Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin had already broken over the daily middle band. It rejected below, but now it's gone above and it's made a higher high. We've got resistance at the 50 DMA at about 92.76, and we're heading up there at the moment. We've also got the monthly pivot at 88.432, which is a pretty good match with where that flag resistance is, or slightly below it. We'll see how that goes. Solana, I've got to say, I was talking to Matt yesterday. I was saying we were likely forming a bear flag, and I was looking for the next move up to about the 145 area. You can see the trend line I was looking at. That could be it. We could still break up. We've still got an IHS target in about the 155 area, and it could be that we're going to move on to an alternate bear flag resistance trend line. But I got to say, I am wondering about a fail there. I was talking to him, I think yesterday afternoon. I was talking about a target in the 145 area. We're almost there. I'll be watching that with great interest. Looking at Ethereum, Ethereum is over the daily middle band too, and on the hourly chart, we didn't really have a reversal pattern here, but we do have a potential flag setup. And that flag setup has got a pretty obvious resistance trend line. And I've got that resistance up in about the 2130 area. Again, I'll be watching it resist there. I am wondering if we might make the highs today. I was thinking Tuesday or Wednesday, but we've had a pretty good night overnight. I am wondering whether we might actually make those early. We've got the markets going up on some good news, which is that the April 2nd tariffs are looking as though they will be scaled back a bit, but that so far they don't look as though they'll be scaled back a lot. And I think when we get there, it's going to be very bad news, and it's be bad for equities. And unfortunately, what's bad for equities does appear to also be very bad for crypto. We will see how that goes. This could just deliver low retests on April the 2nd, and then a larger rally. But after April the 2nd, unless the administration, which seems very keen on this tariffs idea, actually rows it back, I'm leaning towards more downside across the board, and we could be looking at quite a lot of downside that lasts over months. So we shall see. All right, great. In that case, let's have a look at questions, of which we have none. That's where we're looking at here. Looking at Solana, we're almost there. It looks as though it's going to reach the resistance trend line first. I'll be watching with great interest to see what happens there. Could go a bit higher. If so, that 151 may still be on the table. And that would be good to see. But at the moment, my expectations for seeing a breakout to the upside this week are low. I think while April 2nd is coming, I'm very skeptical about that happening. If it does, it would provide a decent looking sell opportunity, I think. But if it's more likely, probably, that it doesn't. Okay, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap, guys. I will catch you tomorrow morning, and I'll have everything posted ASAP.